I get the news, we're locked in for however many days. Even Michelle, she seemed a little like, holy crap. But I'm like, okay, and I start looking at the calendar. I go, Rogue Fitness, they're not shipping anything. I go to Lead FTS, shut down. I go to Reps Fitness, they're shut down. Amazon, everybody's sold out. You know what I think? I go, supply and demand. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's podcast. My name is Brett Summers, and we are up at the Top Shop right now in Glendale, Wisconsin at the Top Line headquarters, and I am excited to bring you guys another rousing edition of the Brett Summers Show. Hope you guys are doing well right now and this message finds you well. I know that right now everybody's still under quite a bit of stress, and I think it's weighing on you guys, and that is what I'm going to talk about today. So, this probably should not have caught me off guard or blew my mind like it did, but there was a series of events this week that kind of transpired here in Wisconsin. Our governor has now placed us on an extended stay-at-home, kind of the lockdown quarantine type thing, right? Crazy that we're even talking about this stuff, but it is what it is. So the governor decided to pull the trigger on that. So the day, I think it was actually 5 or 7 minutes after my girlfriend Michelle, we were working in our office, our home office, and she came in and said, hey, she was looking all shocked. I called this. I had it on our staff guide. I was thinking that probably end of May, June was probably going to be when it would start to be a possibility, and even maybe further. In any event, she comes in, she mentions that it has been extended now till May 26th.
I think so.
And my immediate reaction was, I just looked at the calendar, I looked at how many days that was, and for me, that meant there's probably about 40 to 45 days of a lead time that I would have to order brand new equipment and take advantage of some of the tax alterations that there have been for small business, and also completely revamp the facility with some new equipment from a new manufacturer, which was going to take a long, extended amount of time. Not only was I going to be able to order new equipment, but that would mean that some of the brand, again, at Top Line, when all of this transpired, my immediate reaction was to make sure our clientele had some equipment and some bands and dumbbells. And I think I gave out, and as a staff, I mean, I got to congratulate Britt and Blake and Blair, and JJ Lippy even helped out. They are the ones who distributed the equipment. And I think we probably gave out somewhere around $75,000 to $100,000 worth of equipment to our clients to use. So that being said, we took care of the family first, right? And when the events transpired, my first immediate business reaction was, okay, we have the lead time. Now, what business decision should I make based on the new information that was provided to me? So my immediate thought was, let's sell some of the brand new equipment that we have that didn't necessarily want, but it's actually never been used. Let's liquidate that. And why would I want to liquidate that? Well, it's not a matter of hurting for money. It's a matter of supply and demand right now. I took care of my clients and they have equipment. I mean, I have people who are paying just a regular membership, maybe it's $65, $75, $95, whatever it is a month, and they now have $1,000 or $4,000, or some of them have about $8,000 worth of equipment filling their garages and basements and bedrooms and wherever they're set up right now to exercise. And that's fine. But we do have equipment, and right now, due to supply and demand, gym equipment just so happens to be one of those things that's in high demand. So I did a quick Google search on all the manufacturers of the top manufacturers, as well as some of the lower end, low quality stuff. We only have the high quality stuff here at Top Line. And the lead times for them was a month to 4 months to get equipment. So I knew that why would we sit on brand new stuff when we can help people out? So I immediately went online, started to make a post on our Instagram account only. I didn't even hit Facebook, email, Craigslist, anything like that. And the outpouring of responses to that and rubbernecking from people. What's going on? Why are you selling all the equipment, or you're selling the whole thing? And why are you doing it? Is business okay? And the thing that I want to talk about today is killing the negativity. You guys have been watching so much news, and you guys have been watching so much social media and false information and false reporting and fake news that you're almost pre-programmed now to think negatively. So I can only assume, and some of the messages were pretty apparent, people thought that the business was going under. We're 6 weeks into this. Can we not last in business for 6 weeks? Come on, guys. It seems really bad. I mean, I understand that some people, maybe they did have good intentions. But to be honest, nobody reached out and said, hey man, I know that you're a small business owner and I wouldn't really have wanted this, but nobody was reaching out and saying, hey, I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Let me send you some money here because I really believe in you. There's only one person who did that. It was a member, and that was before we even really shut down. It was actually Chris Sams. So people are like, Chris Sams say, hey dude, just so you know, I'm in a position if you need anything financially. I didn't, and I wouldn't have taken him up on it regardless. But that's the kind of support you want, not people, what's going on? Is everything all right with the business, or what's going on with the business, or how's business? People reaching out and saying, how's business? And then I'd be like, oh, and they're like, well, I saw you're selling all your equipment. Well, why would that be negativity? Why would it be a negative situation? Supply and demand. So while I'm capitalizing on I'm not trying to sound negative, to capitalize on a bad situation, but, to be honest, good entrepreneurs typically thrive in situations like these. It was just a shock to me to see that people's thought process was so negative right off the bat, and that they would automatically jump to that, and that no one was reaching out trying to help. They were just reaching out trying to, like when you drive past a car accident and it's bad, like you see the jaws of life, fire department, ambulances, cars torn in two. And what is everybody, the lanes are open. Everyone's stopping to look at this gory, nasty, terrible scene. Everybody wants to stop and look. No, that's not our situation. But I think that's what people are thinking, like, oh, Brett's going out of business, Top Line's going out of business, and we're not even close to that. So it couldn't have been further from the truth. No one was reaching out with positivity, and that's what I would try and tell you guys right now. I know there's a lot of bad stuff being thrown at you, and I know you're seeing a lot of bad stuff. But there's also a lot of positivity going on right now. A lot of people picking each other up, supporting each other. I know a couple of people that I've seen. My buddy Steven, his wife and him used to train here. He's like supporting small businesses and buying some Stone Creek coffee and getting some Kopp's custard. And I've seen a lot of people doing that. I think that that's good. I don't quite understand why people would be reaching out to a small business owner and asking him how business is. I own a gym. Gym is non-essential right now. So, people are saying, is the gym shutting down? Gym's been shut down since March 12th, dude. So anybody who's reaching out and asking those questions, I thought it was, I try and keep this show up. I thought it was asinine. I thought it was ignorant. I thought it was bad timing, poor timing. Even while there are still a lot of opportunities for things like that, remember, we took care of our customers first, and then it's a strategic business decision. If people are going to have to stay in their home, why would I not sell the equipment we have and no one's using it? Nobody chose to use it for whatever reason to rent it out. So if somebody wants to buy it, we'll go ahead and help them out, because that's solving a problem. Just making a profit's not always a bad thing as an entrepreneur. So if you're able to supply someone with equipment that they really want and they're willing to pay for it, they have the excess cash to pay. A lot of times right now I'm going to mark everything up by 100%. So I'll make 100% profit on something. So is that a bad thing or is that a good thing? I think it's a good thing because you're solving a problem. But at the end of the day, you've got to stop. If you're thinking like that now, just remember, we're going to come out of this. So when we come out of this situation, I don't want you guys to be pre-programmed to think negatively. If you're coming out of this situation and everything that goes on, your automatic reaction is negative, worst case situation, worst case scenario, giving nobody any credit either. To be honest, I've been in business since 2008. I started my business during the recession. That's not bragging, that's saying it sucked, and I've been through a lot of hard times. And to be honest, when I first started my business, let's be 100%. for maybe the first 7 years, I really didn't know what I was doing. I'm learning and I'm just taking action. So if I'm able to start with no experience and I'm 22 years old, I've never had a job, I don't really count Taco Bell as a job, but I've never had a job in the real world working in like a company or an organization, zero experience, and I'm still here. Damn near 12 years later, I think we can survive a few months here of uncertainty, whether it be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. Now, I'm not saying that we don't appreciate all the support from our members who are sticking with us and whatnot, but and we respect the people who had to cancel their memberships. It's just understanding. It's just the game of business. So if I, as an entrepreneur who do have some people who had to cancel, and obviously you're not able to thrive in the same ways you were, positively, we looked at it like, hey, we have a lot of stuff we can do on the back end. We can still put this stuff out. I think now, after this week, that'll be 15 podcasts, 15 shows we've shot. God knows how many emails and how much content we're putting out and how much stuff we will be able to put out, how many websites we've created on the back end now off of this, how many new I think right now we went from, our product offering has expanded now, 20-fold in products that we're offering. So I understand the situation's negative, and again, like I've said in all the other videos, I don't want to get too dramatic today, but like I'm praying for people out there who are going through a hard time, who aren't prepared, and my heart's with them. As an entrepreneur though, there are people out there who have a lot of money. So if the people want to spend a lot of money and they want to invest into something that they value, as an entrepreneur, that is our job to capitalize on that. That is what capitalism is. I'm not trying to capitalize on people who don't have a lot of money. That's why we told people, if you got to cancel, pause your membership, go ahead, do it. Hey, we'll give you free equipment. I had non-members, I had friends reaching out this week. One of them just had a baby, and now she was able to start exercise. She got cleared. Her and her husband are looking for equipment. Cool, pull up. She's got at least, $700-800 worth of equipment right now. She's not even, technically a member at the gym for next to nothing to borrow that for a few weeks. That's what it's all about. We're trying to solve problems. I'm going to go into that a little bit more in the next show, but I want you guys, and I know this show maybe seemed negative because I'm talking about something negative, but I'm telling you how I'm looking at it. I get the news, we're locked in for however many days. Even Michelle, she seemed a little like, holy crap, but I'm like, okay, and I start looking at the calendar. I go Rogue Fitness. They're not shipping anything. I go to Elite FTS, shut down. I go to Reps Fitness, they're shut down. Amazon, everybody's sold out. You know what I think? I go, supply and demand. Let's roll. I go online, I start listing things, 100% markup. It is what it is. If you don't have the money for it, don't look at it. But if you have the money, you have the need, we'll get you taken care of. I got people reaching out to me acting like they're going to do me a favor right now by buying equipment. That's not doing me a favor. I don't need it. I'll let the equipment sit if we have to. I'm not going to lose it when you're in a seller's market in that product, in that asset class. So I just think it was shocking. I don't take offense to it because I know that's how you guys are programmed, and I feel bad about it. I just feel bad about it. But all I'm seeing right now, because all I'm surrounded by right now, it's kind of just me and Michelle right now, 24/7. So since I'm surrounded by an A player, and I consider myself to be an A player, and we're still, I don't know, Brett, I'd say we're doing all right now. But it's like, that's not bragging. That's just saying, like, when you're around the right people and that's all you're filling your head with. When I wake up in the morning, I don't look on my phone. Britt could tell you firsthand. She sent some messages last night. My time is not, I don't give my time to, and that's Britt, and I love Britt. I know she's an A player, but I know when I need to execute what I need to execute, and I know when I need to protect myself from whatever anyone else has. You don't have access to me 24/7. You may see these videos every day and you're like, dang, this dude's hitting it. He must always be. I won't give you access to me all day because I have things I need to execute that will impact hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people on a weekly, monthly basis. So I have to protect my time and I have to protect my energy. That means I don't scroll on CNN. That means when the alerts come on most people's phone, mine are turned off. That means when I'm working, I'm in airplane mode, that my phone is swiped to airplane. You can't get a hold of me. You can't get through to me. This morning alone, I was writing and typing for a good 4.5 hours on a project. And there was nobody coming. There's nobody getting through to me. There's nothing. The only person I knew I had to communicate with was Britt because we had to schedule what we're doing today. And I still push that off till later in the day. And I felt bad about it, but I needed to execute, and that it is what it is. So fill your mind with positivity. Don't fill your mind. Don't surround yourself with people who are thinking negatively. Don't think the worst case. Have you guys heard of the CARES Act? $365 billion that was out. There was the disaster relief was 10 grand up front. There was the Triple P, the payment protection plan program that went out, where small businesses could secure money. I know they're supposed to give out 12. I didn't see any of that. But even without all that money aside, entrepreneurs who were in business in 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, if you were in business during that time and you did not acquire wealth, or you did not store your money and you were investing in liabilities rather than assets, and you did not say, you don't have, I mean, how many banks do you bank at? Do you just bank at one bank? Do you have other banking relationships? Or are you like me where you have banks all over? You have lines of credit if you need it at this bank or at that bank. You know what I mean? But again, I don't invest in liabilities, so don't sit up here and say I'm bragging about money. I'm bragging about you need to have access to capital if you're an entrepreneur. And in the last 6 or 7 years, if you didn't take advantage of that, I remember meeting with a couple of entrepreneurs in fall of this year. One of them pulled up, he had maybe like a $30,000 or $40,000 vehicle. And I said, what's with the $30,000 or $40,000? You guys are just supposed to be just starting off. And my advice to him was sell that liability, go to the bank. I said, well, what kind of credit do you guys have? What kind of lines of credit can you guys have as far as your ad spend? They're marketers. And what do you mean line of credit? They didn't know what a line of credit was. They didn't have a line of credit. They were invested in liabilities, and they're just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this whole game. Like, business is a game. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. But it's just kind of a matter of being prepared and making sure that you guys have your game right. But beyond that, all the people out there, just steer clear of the negativity. And when people, like, I had to take it, and I'm like getting the messages, and Britt's getting messages, and Michelle was getting messages about it. Like, what's going on? And not a lot of people were reaching out did they reach out with a solution or help or anything? No. Or just rubbernecking, like, what's going on? What's going on at Top Line? What's going on? I think it's awful. I'm sure they did not. I'm sure you guys did not mean it. Again, friends, family members. I think there's a time and a place for that. I wouldn't reach out and ask anybody how business is right now. You know, like the old, like, for me, if you ask me how business is anytime, I go, man, we could be doing so much better. So that's even what I'm saying in years past. We got, most people go, oh, everything's all good. No, it could always be better. So my answer is always, we should be doing more. But like right now, how's business? Well, we had to completely shift. It shut down. So we had to shift and do other things. So I don't know what response you guys are looking for. And maybe this ain't my most motivational show, but at the same time, I think that sometimes you have to speak about things that are reality. Maybe this will be better for like one of the mashups where I'm just talking about like real life. Because at the end of the day, I think I don't know. I think most people would have take it as disrespect. I just take it as that's how people are pre-programmed. So that's how your subconscious mind reacts to things, and you're not aware of what has influenced your subconscious mind. I am aware of that, so I'm very protective again. Turn off the news, turn off the social media, stop following people, and then know people too. Like, I think if you know me, if you like watch one of the 100 shows that we filmed, and you can hear me just maybe 2 times, 10 times, 100 times, you'll hear the same things. So I think you'd be like, you know what? I bet you that dude's probably got a little contingency plan in place just in case the world stops like it did. And, I think you have to know who you're dealing with. And I thought that was pretty negative. So keep it positive out there, people. Well, we'll end this one because I don't necessarily know if this one's going to motivate people. Show love to people and support people if you really want to know what's going on with them, right? If you've got access to cash and you've got excess funds, which you should right now for some people, if you're coming off of, again, the last 5-10 years and you've been working for that whole time, maybe if you're not coming out of college like Britt was, but even Britt, I think, would be able to slide some dough over and be like, hey, I stored up some money the last, you know what I mean? It's just like, what's going on? I wouldn't, first of all, don't come looking for a deal right now if you want gym equipment. So if you see this and it's any time here at the end of April and you're looking for a deal on gym equipment, good luck. I mean, good luck, because supply and demand's there. Things are moving at a crazy rate. So I wouldn't be looking for that. And everybody's searching for something. I had messages on Facebook. Hey, do you have 100-pound dumbbells for sale? Well, first of all, why would I have gym equipment? You know, I don't know. People I've never talked to, never spoke with. So we'll go on Craigslist, we'll crush it, we'll get rid of this stuff and we'll move on. But hey, keep it positive. I know this didn't seem positive, but what I want you to do is focus on things you can control, be a solution, and watch the next show that we have coming out, because it will be more positive and it will teach you how to go through a situation like this a little bit better than this one. But kill the negativity, kill it, stay positive. Yeah, if they extend it, they're extending it. Why do you think they're extending it? Because they want your business to fail? Like, is there a conspiracy theory going on? Like, someone wants to see the whole world fail. I mean, every small business that's non-essential, they want them to fail. My question to you guys out there would be this. Have you ever been in a situation as a parent or as a student or in a relationship or just in life? All of a sudden you're in a car accident, or all of a sudden, you know, one of your parents leaves the family. All of a sudden someone gets sick. And in the midst of that chaos, you miss some details. Maybe some things, you do things that you wouldn't normally do, or you miss some things, you miss some details. I think the government probably has a lot on their plate right now. They're making a lot of decisions. So maybe they don't know what is essential or non-essential. Sometimes in decisions, you have to make decisions and it affects people, and all the crying and belly aching and whining from people who I don't see doing much on a regular basis, and who I've seen a lot of chilling and vacations, and now all of a sudden they've got a big opinion, but I haven't seen them really do too much. I think it's time to take a step back and think about what decisions you would have made if you were running the world. Because I think that's or running the country at least. And leaders oftentimes piss people off. Think about it. Every president that gets elected, basically half the country hates whoever it is, whether you're Republican or Democrat. So no matter who goes into office, half the whole country hates you, even if you win. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things. Leadership is, you're not a clown. You're not running a circus. You're not trying to just sit and make people happy. At the end of the day, you're there. You're a decision maker, and sometimes the decisions affect people in a negative way. And the government's never really been there to take care of everybody and wet your beak for you. That's your job to do. So enjoy the rest of the day. Stay positive. I hope this one didn't crush you, but again, I was working for 5 hours on something I didn't want to, so I'm not as prepared today as I should be, but 'tis life. We'll catch you guys soon.